Don't think, drink it.
Give me a Scotch, I'm starving.
It would be irresponsible not to drink. I'm just talking about a nightcap.
Hello again, Whiskey Tippers and Spirit Sippers. One back again, and today we're going to be talking about a Speyside classic. Today we're getting into the 12-year-old Aberlour.
Well, I thought you lot drank vodka.
Whiskey is the new vodka.
I think I may have tasted this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of remember a few years back, my buddy came by with a Scotch, and of course that's back when I was in my nothing but rum days, and I just didn't really like anything but rum, so if this was it and I tasted it, I wouldn't have liked it because it wasn't rum. So today we're going to give it its fair shake and see what it's all about. Aberlour 12.
Alright.
This is a double cask matured. It's matured in regular oak cask and sherry cask, so it's a double maturation. 12 years old, it's 40% ABV and 80 proof. It is supposed to be one of those sherry monsters, so I'm super excited to taste it because you already know I love those sherries. Love sherry flavored whiskey so far. Most of them, the Macallan's, Glendronach's my favorite, Glenmorangies even sometimes, and now this one's supposed to be the same, so let's get it. It seems like these short, squatty bottles never have a great pop, but let's see how the juice inside is. Alright, you already know how we do it. It's 12 years old, so we're going to let it chill out in the glass for 12 minutes, and we'll be right back at you. Don't go anywhere. Alright, 12 minutes is up, and we are back. Oh, wow. I don't know if it's because my last review was of that cask strength rum, but this just smells light. This smells watered down. Definitely has the sherry, but it doesn't have that funk. It doesn't have that like that sherry cask Macallan and Glendronach funk. It smells a lot lighter, but it definitely smells that sherry influence. Just kind of some berries and spices on there. A little bit of floral, like wild flowers a little bit, but mainly just like spices and berries. And yeah, it's weird. It smells a little watered down, so let's see how this one tastes. Cheers. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, it went down, like, that almost tasted like nothing. That was like water. I mean, it went down and now it gave you just the tiniest little tickle coming back up, but I mean, tiniest little bit. There's almost a little bit of like a cinnamon on the back of it, but boy, it is really thin. This is a thin one. Let's go back for one more. That is like a light sherry flavored water. I mean, like I said, I think it's because I've been drinking that cask strength rum, that Foursquare. Man, I tell you what, this is water. That is so thin and just, it's like cinnamon water, cinnamon sherry water. On the very back end of it, you do kind of get that cask influence, the sherry and the ex-bourbon cask, but man, that is, I don't even know if it's ex-bourbon, just, yeah, it would have to be oak. It's oak and sherry oak, so yeah, that is really light. Let's see if putting some water in it adds any flavor. Some tiny little drops. Yeah, this one's really light, really thin. Not a whole lot to it. I mean, absolutely nothing off-putting. Yeah, this is like a light sherry flavored water. I mean, this is so thin. A little bit of spice on there. Again, that cinnamon spice. The wildflower's even gone, I think. The water killed that. I mean, I put the tiniest of drops in here. Let's see what the taste is. Slunge of that. The water almost opened up a little bit of a honey flavor and honey texture, a little smoothness. Gave it a little viscosity, it feels like almost, which is kind of odd. But yeah, it gave it a little bit more of a little honey sweetness flavor going down. But yeah, this one, super light, sherry, tiny bit of honey and a little bit of barrel influence. But yeah, and there's not a whole lot to talk about so far. I mean, I know it's only 40%, but man, and it's been a while, I think, since I've had a 40%, so that could really be part of it. But let's see how it acts over some ice. Woo! Trying to smash my Glencairn. There is just so little pop to these smaller, squatty bottles. thought I spilled, but I didn't. Nice. Squatty bottles are deceiving. So let's see if the ice does it. I mean, like I said, there's nothing off-putting. It's not bad, but this is like a starter bottle so far. I mean, a perfect bottle if you're trying to introduce somebody into Scotch, because this is just so light and watery and easy and just, yeah, forgiving. I mean, this is just a nice, friendly, easy sip right down. Especially if, you know, people, like so many people, I hate Scotch, that's smoky or it tastes like Band-Aids. It's like, that's such a little part of Scotch. There's so many other flavors. So this would be a great one to introduce those kind of folks to Scotch, because this is just about as easy and as light as it gets. Has a sweetness to the smell over ice. Just a real light, almost like a light cotton candy smell. Interesting. Let's see how the taste is. Gross. Gives it kind of a saltiness. Brings out those barrel flavors. It's kind of like a salted sherry. A few of those barrel tannins, but a little bit of that oak flavor, oak influence. But honestly, just not a lot here. Yeah, Aberlour 12. Nothing to write home about. Nothing off-putting. I would say this is a perfect starter Scotch if you're trying to introduce somebody into Scotch and don't want to blow them away and just let them dip a toe into the water so it doesn't scare them away. This is where it's at. This is definitely a starter Scotch, and I mean, if somebody wanted to even mix this with something, I mean, it's not too expensive. You're not going to be too mad about it. What did I pay for this one? What did I pay for this one? Hey, there we go. Paid $41.99 for this one. Always like to write the price inside for when I forget it like that. So yeah, $41.99. I mean, you're not going to break the bank. You're not going to care if somebody mixes it with something. It's a great one to let them sip for a nice single malt. Like I said, to let them dip a toe into the old Scotch world. But yeah, other than that, it's just a nice, real easy, smooth starter. And that's what I'll be using it for starting flights. Kind of get your palate acclimated and get yourself ready for your first flight of the night. That's what I'll be using it for. So, I mean, nothing wrong with it, nothing great about it. Scale out of 1 out of 10. I'm going to give this one an 8.2. Nothing to write home about, nothing wrong with it. It's the nice, easy, smooth, Speyside, classic sherry Scotch. So, single malt. So, that's going to do it for me. Stick around. We got so many more backed up and ready to come. So, yep, more will be coming down the pipeline soon. So, until we see you next time, you guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of the week. And until we see you then, cheers.